Jean, and I want to talk about my favorite part of a good party, the gifts. Okay, so maybe gifts are usually like a birthday party thing, but still, they're a good reason to celebrate, right? My all-time favorite gift that I've ever received was this thing right here. A Nintendo Game Boy. It was my favorite gift ever. And one of the best parts about getting that gift, the look on my mom's face when I opened it. Isn't that what being generous does? When we choose to give our time, our money, our gifts to someone else, there's a lot of good in it for us too. There's an opportunity to be a party starter. When I say party, I mean any effort to celebrate, to serve, or enjoy others in a way that adds value to life. And so being a party starter means being someone who does good however they can, including by being generous. Maybe you felt the nudge to be generous towards someone else. Sure, you may not have all the money to buy all the gifts for all the things, but you do have things like time, encouragement, kind words, and even your skills to share freely with others. But if you're anything like me, it's easy to let our thoughts on generosity be just that. Thoughts. We feel inspired in a moment to do something generous for someone else, but then we just don't. For whatever reason, we just aren't motivated to act. Can we be real for a second? I think sometimes what keeps us from being generous isn't anything more than fear. We're afraid that if we give to someone else, there won't be enough left for us. We're afraid that if we use our resources and skills to help somebody succeed, there won't be space for us to succeed too. We're afraid that using what we have to help somebody win in life means that we'll have to lose. I think that's because it's easy for us to see ourselves as the main character in the story. We want to be the hero, the winner, the one who walks away with everything they want at the end of the movie. So when someone else gets the attention, the praise, the win in life, it suddenly feels like our main character status is at risk because there can only be one hero in the story, right? And if it's someone else, then it can't be us, can it? So we hold back. We don't always use what we have to give to others. We don't always make an effort to help others win. But can I just challenge us with these questions? What if we're missing it? What if by choosing not to be generous with what we have, we're not actually winning? What if there's a better way to start the party for everyone, including ourselves? During his time on earth, Jesus spent a lot of time helping people learn more about what it meant to be a party starter. Sure, he didn't use those exact words, but so much of Jesus's teachings were about what it means to live the kind of full, awesome life he promised us. And that's what being a party starter is all about. To help people understand what he was teaching, Jesus often used parables or stories to make his point. Today, we're actually going to look at one of those parables to help us understand what it really means to help others win. Let me set the scene. Jesus was approached by a guy who had a complaint against his brother. Their father had died, and one brother wanted to share the wealth they inherited from him while the other brother seemed to want to keep it for himself. The brother looking to receive this portion of the money asked Jesus to get involved and tell his brother to share. This is how Jesus replied. Then he said, "Beware, guard against every kind of greed. Life is not measured by how much you own." So right away, Jesus was saying, hey, be careful in thinking life is all about what you have or what you can get. In other words, be careful thinking life is only about you. While we don't know for sure, I have to assume this brother was thinking, what about me? Will there be anything left for me? And honestly, I get it. I think it's human nature to think that way. To help us really get the point, Jesus explained his answer with a parable. In the story, there was a rich man who made money by running a really successful farm. He grew so much stuff on the farm that he literally ran out of room to hold it all. Instead of finding a way to be generous with the extra crops he had, this rich guy decided to build bigger barns to store all the crops for himself. Then he thought he'd be satisfied, but God had a different idea of what this man should do. Take a look at the way the parable ends. Yes, a person is a fool to store up earthly wealth, but not have a rich relationship with God. Ugh, harsh, huh? I don't know about you. I definitely don't want to be a fool. Fool? I don't know about you, but I definitely don't want to be a fool. But sometimes this is how we think. Like the rich man in this parable, it's easy to think a full life is found in getting all that we think we need. But Jesus reminded us here, there's so much more to it. A full life, a good life, a rich life, that's found not in what we have, but in the God who made us, loves us, and promised to give us a life that is better than we can even imagine. Rather than being fools who hold on to everything we have out of fear, God wants us to be party starters who choose to give what we can so that others can win. A party starter knows helping someone else win is just as important as winning themselves. Think of it like a team. That looked like so much fun. Even though there was only one person who scored, the whole team celebrated. Why? Because even though one person technically won the game, the whole team won too. They were all on the same team. As followers of Jesus, we're all on the same team too. That means when one of us scores a goal, we all get a point. When one of us makes an incredible play, we all benefit. When one of us wins, we all win. So why wouldn't we cheer each other on however we can? Why wouldn't we be the ones going crazy in the stands, rooting for each other and celebrating like crazy when one of us wins? Another writer in the Bible, a guy named Timothy, put it this way: tell them to use their money to do good. They should be rich in good works and generous to those in need, always being ready to share with others. By doing this, they will be storing up their treasure as a good foundation for their future so that they may experience true life. This is what it looks like to be a party starter, to use what we have to be generous in doing good for others, to share with the people in our lives who need it, to help someone else win without fear that we'll lose. Because as God promises, when we're being generous with what we have to give, that's where a true full life is found. You have what it takes to be a party starter. You have time, you have encouragement, you have skills, you may even have money to be generous with right now. You have what it takes to help someone else win. And a party starter knows helping someone else win is just as important as winning themselves. And you can start being that kind of party starter by doing these 3 things. First, look for ways you can help someone else win. What do you have to give? And who around you could benefit from your generosity? Second, do just one thing to help someone else win. Don't let your generosity end with just a thought. Instead, put that thought to action by using what you have to help someone else win. And finally, cheer someone else on. And I mean like really cheer them on. Be the biggest, the loudest, most excited hype crew for someone else. That's one of the best ways to be a generous party starter in someone else's life. Because you know their win isn't your loss. In fact, it's your win too. Remember, a party starter knows helping someone else win is just as important as winning themselves. And one of the best places to start is in your group. That's your team. You're there to support each other, cheer each other on, and win together. So I'd love for you to talk through what it means to help each other win in your group this week.